What a situation we find ourselves in at the moment with the current pandemic. It's making us all scared and uncertain. And yeah, me too. I'm feeling pretty out of sorts with it all. So I thought, why don't I just make a few videos showing you what I do to process things. And so maybe you can join me. And yeah, it might be a useful thing for you to try. So what I do is I like making altered books. And so I've chosen this book to be the container for my angst and worries and just for processing anything that comes up. And I hope you find this process interesting, because I find it really useful and therapeutic. So anyway, to start off with, you need to choose a book. And now I've chosen this one because several reasons. It's quite small, and I just thought, well, I can just do small spreads or single pages. And I also chose it because it's sewn in. Let's see if I can find one. Which makes it sturdier for, there we go, see. It's sewn, so it just makes it a little bit sturdier. And I also like the quality of this paper. It feels like it's going to take the paint well. I won't know till I actually start painting in it, but from experience it's usually okay. It's an old book, and I like the title, The Story Girl. So I'm going to be writing my own stories in here, in pictures and journaling. It was published in 1925. There you go. So there's no problem with copyright, me showing you this video also, so that was a factor too. But for you, you can use any book. Now, I've been through this book and I have pruned it a bit. So I basically, the way I do it is I can't show you this bit because I've already done it, but I go to where the sewn in page is, and I will then take them out from there. So I went through each one and I took about 2 spreads out, and I went through the whole book like that. And that just means that you've got a bit of space when you start layering these pages. But when you start layering these pages, you've got a bit of space in there. But you don't have to do that at all, especially if you're just going to be painting, because it won't get very bulky. The other thing I've done is I've started to stick some pages together. It makes them a bit sturdier. Again, you don't have to do that. And in fact, I've stopped doing it till I got to about here, and I just thought, oh, I'm not going to bother, because I might not want to do that with these pages. So we'll just leave it flexible. And so yeah, the other thing about this book is I'm going to try and do it in order, but I always leave the beginning. I don't know why, but I always leave that. So I'm probably going to start on this one. And the other things that we can do is we can make pockets if we want to. So what I might do, this one's been stuck together, I could make a pocket on that side and then have something on this side. So I will have a think about it, and then the next video will probably be speeded up as I go through it. So So if you just give me a moment, I will be back. So on this page I have spotted who is the story girl. So that's going to be my first page that I work on, and I'm also going to make this into a pocket, because it's quite nice to have a pocket that has the internal stitching. It just makes it stronger. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that when I cut the top of my pocket, it is at the top of this stitching, so that I get the benefit of that. I'm going to cut across there, and I'm going to stick it on there, and I'm probably going to use papers to go on there, and I'm probably going to gesso everything out apart from who is the story girl, and I might well do a face, a girl's face on here. So that's the kind of a plan to start with. Filming wise, I'll probably leave this running and try to be mindful that you can see what I'm doing, and then what I'll do is I will speed it up so it's so it doesn't take too long and you can stop it and look at it. So that's the plan. So I'll just get all my stuff together. I've already got my tea, it's nearly gone now, and I'll see you again in a minute. So I've been looking through my papers and I found some interesting ones. Oh look, that might be fun. Tea's always good. Anyway, I found this one, which I think might be good. Who is the story girl? And yeah, I think I am going to make this into a pocket. And I might use this colours. What else? Oh yeah, what's that? That's quite nice. But also I found in here butterflies, and this, I don't know if you can see it very well, it's kind of orangey. So yeah, I'm just going to take the papers that I'm drawn to and I'm going to start pasting them down and creating these pages. So here we go. So I'm a bit cross with the crinkling that I've got going on here, and that's because I used the matte medium, which was quite wet. But the reason I chose that is because I'm going to be gessoing over this part of this page, and I find that if I use other glues it sometimes doesn't take, the paint doesn't work very well. So anyway, that's the way it is. Anyway, so I'm thinking that I might put a nice little edging there on this pocket. So I need to trim the edges up and trim it to size. So I've put another layer on there of gesso, so because I realised that there's nowhere that I can really draw the face apart from sort of here. So I'm going to draw a face like that, and I'm just going to allow that to sit wherever it sits on the face. Maybe have her eyes here and let that sit on her cheek somehow. Anyway, while this is drying, I'll show you something else that I do. So this is my little snippets collection, or one of many. I've got loads of these, but these are bits that I've cut off the edges of maps. So I'm thinking that maybe I can hide those wrinkles a bit with something like that, and I'm just trying to decide what one to use. So I quite like this blue because it ties in with the blue on there. But then I've got this as well, which is another leftover bit, which has got the orange in it and different shades. I quite like that. I've got another bit of map, which is also attractive in my eyes. I like that. It's got the blue as well. And then these are things that I get, which are sort of match cards for paint, and they're lovely just to get an idea of colours. Gosh, the colour's not coming out very well on this video. Oh dear, well, the colours that you're seeing are much more kind of garish than they actually are in real life. So anyway, I quite like this orange, so I could cut a strip to go in there. Could go in as a little in my pocket as well. But all in all, I think I might continue with the map theme. Because this is very fiddly to do, I've kind of prepared it, but basically I've used this double-sided extra sticky, extra tacky double-sided sellotape, and I've put a strip of it on here, and I'm peeling off the backing. Oops. And now this is going to go on here. Like that. Hide the wrinkles. The other thing I'm thinking that I might do is I might reinforce this bit. So I've drawn in her face now, and I simply drew that in with using a 3B graphite pencil and then using a paper stump to blend and get a bit of shading going on. And then, as usual, I was wondering what hairstyle to do, and then I noticed the little, are they called, what are they called? I don't know the name of these Russian dolls, but anyway, I looked at the hairdo, so I thought, yes, I'll give her the same hairdo, so that's going on. And I've given her a little neckerchief, the same as the dolls are wearing. So, yeah. And I'm starting to see a kind of theme coming through. Who is the story girl? And I'm starting to think that it's lots of people. It's not just me. It's lots of people are going through what I'm going through. And the map gives me this idea that it's going on all over the world. And how you're experiencing it depends on where you are. But we're all in this together, really. So that's the kind of theme that's coming through. So now I'm going to start shading her face, and I've come to my beautiful Derwent, oh goodness, I can't get this to focus, but it's the Derwent Graphitint pencils, and I love using these for shading. So I'm going to shade with watercolour, and it's on gesso, so it'll be all sort of messy, which I don't mind. So I'm going to start shading, and then I'll probably come back and do some acrylics, but we'll see how it goes with this. I finished my first spread, and yeah, this pocket I simply used Yoo-hoo just a little tiny bit so that it didn't get too drenched, and I also used a bit of the two-sided tape. This is really good stuff, it's really strong. So yeah, I've got a little pocket now. I don't know what I'm going to put in there. I've got this cute little card at the moment. In the end I taped that down as well, stuck that down because it was, every time I closed it, it was getting in the way, so changed that. And yeah, I painted in the background, and it says, who is the story girl? She is me, she is you. All of us are in this story right now. So yeah, and the idea that all around the world we are dealing with this strange situation. Nobody knows what to do because we've never had to go through this before, and the world is so small in a way that we can travel, or up till now, till everything's being shut down now, but before that we could just travel everywhere, and so it spread very quickly. So anyway, I'm on to my next spread, and I'm just wondering what to do. So I will finish this video for now, put it up, and I'll get on to my next spread, and we can share that. So I hope you're well, and I hope that you're doing a bit of crafting to process all these emotions and fears and anxiety. I wish you all well, and yeah, let's meet again soon. Okay, bye for now.